Lads, the NASCAR Chicago Street Race was a massive, massive success. It was the most watched NASCAR race on NBC in the last 6 years. It was huge. It was absolutely massive. I want to talk about it a little bit more because there are a lot of things here that I'm very, very excited for. Some of you know how much I love my night races. Well, 2 weeks in a row and this upcoming weekend, Sunday night racing has been booming the ratings. So I am very, very excited for this. I'm hoping NASCAR is keeping notes. But this street race, so over here, this street race, it actually might not happen next year. You know, there's a likely chance it might not happen. So we're actually going to talk about that. And I want to, tell you guys, basically, not to worry. If you enjoyed the NASCAR Chicago Street Race weekend, if you enjoyed the race, if you enjoyed the environment, of course, the festivities weren't really a part of it because of the weather, but I could definitely see street racing being a huge thing in NASCAR. Not a lot of it, but just for special occasions, I could see it being a huge thing. And if it's not going to be in Chicago, which we're going to talk about, then what happened on Sunday has opened the floodgates. The doors are open for NASCAR to go in a direction that I've always wanted them to go to. I want them to leave the stereotypical persona that is NASCAR, and I want them to attack the big markets while still not forgetting their roots. And I feel like they're doing a very, very good job of this and slowly going towards a path that I have been wanting them to go down for a very long time. I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon members, as always, for supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. This is also being uploaded on the 4th of July, so hopefully everyone has a great 4th of July. I will not be doing anything because ever since I got my dog Skywalker, my 4th of Julys are consistent of taking care of him as he gets scared with the fireworks. So that is my 4th of July plans, but hopefully you are enjoying the 4th of July with your friends, with your family, grilling, barbecuing, and enjoying the fireworks. Please have fun and be safe as well if you are playing with the fireworks and launching them and, all that good stuff. This is what I'm talking about. The streets of Chicago was NBC Sports' most watched NASCAR race in 6 years, had 4.795 million viewers. That is a huge, huge number. And I mean, so basically this is for the biggest rating since for NBC. Again, this doesn't count Fox's Daytona 500 and stuff like that, because obviously the Daytona 500 is always going to have super high ratings. But this is the highest since the 2017 Brickyard 400. So I mean, just absolutely massive. And then you have Tim Clark, who is, if you don't know who Tim Clark is, he works for NASCAR. He's I don't know the exact position he is in, but he does work for NASCAR. And he said the NASCAR digital traffic reached Daytona 500 levels. More downloads of our mobile apps than we've ever seen. Just a massive weekend for fan engagement. Now, this is a very key point right here. This is the point of attacking the big markets that I have been trying to emphasize. It's new folks, new people. Like, I criticize NASCAR's marketing. I guarantee you, a lot of people don't really know what NASCAR is all about. They hear the stereotypes, they hear, but they've probably seen F1 with Drive to Survive and stuff. Obviously, NASCAR is not going to have a Drive to Survive series. They need to attack it in a different way. Over 70% of the people that bought a ticket to the Chicago Street Race were new. Never attended a NASCAR race before in their lives. So the downloads of the apps, getting involved, finding a favorite driver, all this stuff, huge. And it's in a market like Chicago where they've already been in that market. They've been in Joliet, Illinois. If you don't know where Joliet, Illinois, shout out Jared. If you don't know where that is, that's about an hour away from downtown Chicago. But the fact that you're going straight into downtown Chicago, the fact that you saw all the local media there, constant local media, on the news and everything, generating all that traffic, bringing in more people, younger fans, the prime 18 to 49 demographic that NASCAR needs to attack. That's what this race weekend was all about. Huge success. 2.52 rating for Adam Stern, 4.632. The numbers are always a little bit different, 4.75, 4.6, but basically the best race on the channel since 2017 Homestead. I thought it was 2017 Brickyard. That's what I thought I read, but maybe not. This is from Nate Ryan. I had no idea Nate Ryan follows me. Why does Nate Ryan follow me? Cool. I get the blue tick, and now I feel famous. I love Nate Ryan. I had no idea he follows me. That's cool. But basically, this is from the Chicago mayor, Brandon Johnson. So here's the sticking point. It's him. It's does the city of Chicago, the people there, does the mayor want to have this back? And he said, we're grateful despite the extreme weather that NASCAR was able to deliver with very minimal disruption. Like everything that I inherited, I'll assess and grade it in an open process. Again, this is a new mayor. So when this deal was signed, there was a different mayor for Chicago. This is a new mayor, Brandon Johnson. So we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know his thoughts on it. We don't know what he's thinking. But what I will say is NASCAR does have, I think it is a 3-year deal in place. Now, Chicago can pull out of that. If the mayor wants to pull out, they can do that. But if it does follow through, it will be on the weekend of, I think it's July 6th and 7th next year. So again, like another kind of 4th of July weekend. But here's what I wanted to talk about mainly in this video. And I tweeted about it over here. By the way, can you guys help me get to 10,000 followers? I would really appreciate that, just because I got this stupid blue tick now that I don't want, because when Twitter went down, I thought maybe I could just buy the blue tick and then it'll work, but it didn't. I wasted $8 basically. But I have this blue tick now for about 28 days or whatever. I'm not going to obviously keep it, but I want to hit 10,000 followers and then make me feel really important just to satisfy my stupid ego. Can you guys just do it? I'd really appreciate that. Follow me on Twitter. But basically, this is what I tweeted. I tweeted this before as well. Welcome to a new era. Blah, blah, blah. I was very happy about this. And then check this video out if you haven't seen it. That was uploaded yesterday. But this is what I'm talking about. We'll go over the replies to this as well. And actually, I do agree with this. Basically, this is what I'm talking about. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't. This is what I want to make very clear to everyone, that if Chicago turns it down or if they keep it, it doesn't matter, because the market is open now. So if the mayor doesn't want NASCAR back, I just named some cities. I want to go more detail into this now, but I just named New York, Boston, probably not DC for pretty obvious reasons, and probably not Miami. I just put Miami in there, but not Miami because we already have Homestead Miami. I wouldn't want to take a race day away from Miami. The point is, attack markets that NASCAR have not really been in. Chicago they have been in, but it was Juliet. Miami maybe, because Homestead Miami is kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's far south. It's not really near Miami at all. But again, you have a fantastic racetrack down there. It needs upgrading on the facilities, but again, I don't think you need to attack the South Florida market. That's not something that I would recommend, unless Stephen Ross and Hard Rock Stadium want you to come, like around a Formula One doubleheader, like Formula One races there, and I think it's May, and then NASCAR also races there. If you want to do something like that, maybe to introduce Formula One and NASCAR together would be really cool. But other than that, I would probably throw Miami out of it. New York and Boston are actually the two ones I talked about. So again, if Chicago doesn't want to do a street race, that's fine. I also want to be very clear on this. I don't want multiple street races. So I kind of want one street race, whether it's Chicago or whether it's somewhere else, or maybe you sign a 3-year deal with Chicago and then you leave and then you go to somewhere else, and there becomes a little bit of a bidding war between the cities. Like NASCAR wants to come to town. Would you want us to come to town? Would you want us to bring this for a weekend? So, to race on the streets of your city and generate all this excitement and revenue for your city as well. And now, unfortunately, like let's say for a place like New York, you'd have to, I don't know about closing down the streets of New York for a weekend. That would be very difficult. Boston is something that I'm thinking about. Boston is a huge market that NASCAR has not ever really gone through. That's something. What if you sign a 2-year deal? What if the Chicago deal goes through for 3 years? You sign a 2-year deal with the city of Boston. Then you get a street race in Boston. Remove Chicago off the schedule. Put Boston in. Again, every year for one race in the weekend, maybe it becomes a July 4th tradition to go to these different cities and have a street race. Have NASCAR have a street race there. And these are points races. This is not exhibitions. This is not All-Star race. The All-Star race, I believe, should stay at North Wilkesboro. But you are pleasing your grassroots fans, the fans that have been with you for years, in the mid-country of America, but then you attack the big markets. New York, Boston, Philadelphia. That's one that I think it would be huge. Number one on the list would be New York, if it's possible. If you can figure out the logistics somehow, if you can get a race in New York, that is so big. I don't think it's possible because the logistics of it is just going to be very difficult. But after that, Boston and Philadelphia, if you notice a trend, I'm talking about northeast cities. It's a market you have to attack. It's a market that you can just obliterate the 18 to 49 demographic, and now you know it works because you have the record-setting numbers. The high ratings, record-setting numbers. You know it works. You know it sells. So you just went to downtown Chicago. You promoted it for a year or two. We didn't know if this was going to work. It worked. It definitely did. Now, we might not have fantastic races all the time. Even the quality of the racing, if you put the stock cars on the street course, I always feel like you're going to get a lot of action. You know, sometimes when it comes to Formula One, you could have boring races, right? But for NASCAR, I think you will always have enough, like good enough of quality. The whole point of this is what goes around the race. That's the point of this race. It's not really the race itself. It's what goes around it. Put it in the streets of the city, and then just everything around it. Promote, market, attack. And now that NASCAR knows it works, they have to keep doing this. Don't expand. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. Just one. Just one street race. We don't need more, okay? This is getting closer to that point that I'm really, really excited for. It's just NASCAR trying new things, trying different things, seeing if it works. And this worked, man. North Wilkesboro, that worked. Now, the quality of racing is something that has to be worked on for that. But North Wilkesboro was a success. Chicago was a success. This is huge, guys. This is absolutely huge. Let's go through some of the comments here. New York City street race will be bananas. And this, this is what I want to point out. So we're going, no, it won't wear off. That's the thing. If you keep it at one race, just one, not two, not three, just one. One racetrack I'm a little bit worried about is Sonoma. Sonoma's racing is not, or the turnout for Sonoma is not what it used to be. People are vouching for Road America to be back on the schedule. So I'm not saying, Road America is already off, right? I'm not saying, take away Watkins Glen and put in a New York City street race. No. Just one street race. That's it. No more than that. But you can go to different cities, sign short-term deals with the city, and bounce around a little bit and attack these major markets. It's a huge deal. NASCAR is not going to turn into a street racing series, but there's something there that you can really, really benefit. And then the whole point is keeping them, making them watch every week, making them root for their drivers. That's the whole point. And this is true. Basically, anywhere does work. It does, but you want to attack it markets that are not being attacked right now. You kind of have the LA market already down with the first race of the season exhibition at the Coliseum, so you could kind of write that off. And you have Auto Club over there as well. Again, I'm looking mostly at the Northeast. The Northeast is that market that I continuously look at. Memphis, so Tennessee is an interesting one. I feel like maybe, but I mean, you have Nashville, so I don't know. I feel like probably not. Texas, probably not either. Again, I just keep looking at that Northeast. Philly, Boston, New York. If there's ever any way, DC, but probably not. That's kind of where I'm looking. New York would be bananas. Definitely a big hit. I agree. New York City, again, I agree. Clearly needs work. Even without rain, they weren't finishing 100 laps with a 5 p.m. start time. They were going to finish. That was not going to... They were going to end right where they wanted to, which is like the sun going down and stuff. It would have worked. The 100 laps that's the whole point, was to end the race at sunset. So it was designed for that. And I agree with that. Just imagine if the weather wouldn't have been SHIT, would have been better. I agree, man. I agree. That's the whole thing, is that all the extracurricular activities were it didn't happen. That's the thing. Mayor suspiciously changed his tune once he was elected. Something tells me he will take a look at the contract and realize that breaching it isn't a viable solution. I don't know. I hope this just runs the 3 years and then NASCAR moves on. That's what I hope. I don't want NASCAR to stay in the streets of Chicago always. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep adapting. You signed a 3-year deal. Just run through it. Move. Attack another market. That's what I would agree. But like I said, like I've been saying, if he doesn't, right? If the mayor doesn't want it, who cares? Just go somewhere else. Work on another city. So that's what I'm excited for. I'm interested in a revolving door of tracks. Let's go to LA one year. Like I said, I don't think LA is a viable option because NASCAR's already there. Boston is absolutely yes. New York, yes. What's DH? DH with IndyCar and Tennessee. Oh, doubleheader. Doubleheader with IndyCar and Tennessee. Maybe, but again, NASCAR's in Nashville, so I'm not really sure about that. Not real NASCAR. There's 8 replies on here. Oh my god. Get ratioed by Le Mans NASCAR. Yeah, so I think the people yeah, I think people are happy with it. Yeah. Chase Elliott fans. Hey, Elliott fans are just pissed off that, you know, Elliott's not doing well. Boston! They're a market NASCAR that has kept in touch. Now, listen, I don't like Boston, okay? I'm a Miami Heat fan. I dislike the Boston market. Shout out Femi. I dislike your Boston teams. The Patriots have kicked my ass as a Dolphins fan all these years. But for the Celtics, I really don't. I don't like Boston. The city of Boston as a sports town, I don't like you because I'm from South Florida and I'm a Miami boy. We got that rivalry. But you know damn well I want to attack that market with NASCAR. Absolutely 100%. A Nashville IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader would be awesome. Nashville, like I've been saying, yeah, Nashville with the Indy NASCAR doubleheader weekend would be very cool. Go to Boston, definitely. Houston, maybe, but again, Texas is kind of a market NASCAR is already in. So, I'm not seeing too many people disagree. I feel like people are on it. Exactly this. We get it. Chicago sucks. Whatever. Let them be. Okay, not really, but you know, yes, the Chicago mayor does not want the race back. It's not cultural enough, not as important as basketball. Again, politics get involved, stuff like that. It is what it is, but we'll see, right? The whole point of this is that it's a success, guys. Be happy for it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the comments, what do you think? Am I a little bit crazy thinking you can rotate through different cities? Obviously, there's a lot of work that has to go within this, and a lot of politics and a lot of talking with the cities and seeing if it will work. And closing down literally the streets of a city for a weekend is never an easy deal. But let me know if you think it works, and if you want to see more of it. I'm super excited for this, seriously. Again, only one. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram already. Get me to 10,000 followers, please, right here, if you can. Get me to 10,000 followers. I would really, really appreciate it. And subscribe. We're trying to get to not 10,000 subscribers because we have that. We just crossed 75,000. We want to get to 100,000 subscribers. So please, please, please subscribe. There's my message right up there for you guys as well. I'll leave it on there. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.